Hello, everyone. This is Marie Waite, and we are here at our Zoom talk. And we have a special guest today. Michael Cabradilla is the owner of the Sureflow Entertainment. Michael, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Marie. Thank you so much for having me on. Exciting times right now.
Yes, yes. It's very interesting with art, what's going on right now, because I know you're in the DJ service entertainment business. So why don't you let me know what's going on with that right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, we're a couple months in, to the stay-at-home orders here in California. And I've been a DJ for 20 plus years. We have a photo booth business underneath Sureflow Entertainment as well. I officiate weddings, and I also things. And it's interesting because the day that the governor actually made everybody stay at home, right? That weekend we actually had 3 weddings that were set, for me to DJ and MC. I was actually officiating one of them as well. And all 3 of them obviously had to postpone. One of them actually postponed until next year, which is interesting. And ever since then, we've had probably about between 12 to 15 different events that have had to postpone. So especially during this time, events are definitely shut down. But there are some people who are inquiring about events that are coming up, and we've been
Okay.
able to connect with obviously our brides, grooms, everybody, and it's we're all in this together is what we've been kind of communicating with each other. But definitely, that industry is definitely slowed down a lot right now.
Okay. So since that is slowing down for you, what is the other business that you have that's probably thriving right now?
Oh yeah, so currently I serve as the regional director for a company called Legalshield. We
Okay.
do legal and identity theft benefits for individuals, business owners, and we market it as an employee benefit. But you're right, people, during this time, people are going through legal situations. They
Okay.
have, issues that have arisen because of, the COVID-19 crisis,
Okay.
and identity theft is actually on the rise too. So
Wow.
I'm getting like inquiries almost every day about this, that, or the other. So you're right; it is thriving currently.
Okay. Wow. So that's interesting that there's, more legal suit going on right now because of the COVID. And what are some of the examples that are coming up?
So on the legal side, all types of things are happening. So, in the community that I'm in, I'm definitely connected with a lot of business owners, some solopreneurs, some have, storefronts, brick and mortar businesses. But whether it's questions about, employees and the responsibilities of them, working from home potentially, questions about, even landlord tenant situations on the business side
Okay.
and the personal, you can imagine like people right now, they're either out of work or they don't have cash flow coming in, so they're unable to pay their bills. In a lot of cases, it's rent. Actually, earlier today, I was in communication with one of our members, and he's a local business owner, and his overhead, as far as just the rent for his commercial property, is pretty significant. And he was able to communicate with the law firm. The law firm was actually able to communicate with his landlord, and over the next couple of months, actually, it's going to save him over $10,000, just as a result of, being able to communicate with an attorney, so COVID related issues, employment related issues, housing related issues. On the identity theft front, honestly, right now, identity thieves are out. I keep getting emails that are fraudulent.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, I spoke to a local business owner, and unfortunately, there was a fraudulent check that was given to him that was cashed, and we don't know currently right now whether it's the bank's responsibility or his responsibility or the other party's responsibility. So navigating through times that are uncertain, and especially times where people can really get taken advantage of easily,
Yeah.
that's kind of what's going on right now.
Now, so let me ask you. So if something happens where a person needs some legal assistance, uh, do they sign up on LegalZoom right away, or will that take in effect right away once they sign up?
Yeah, so once somebody subscribes to Legal Shield, so essentially what happens is that, I'll give you an example. So on my phone, I have a mobile app, and the mobile app is the Legal Shield mobile app. So when someone enrolls for Legal Shield, they
Hmm.
actually gain access to this mobile app right here. It usually looks like this, but
Yeah.
I'm actually logged out of it right now. But what
Okay.
happens is that anytime that they need to speak with an attorney, they tap a button on the mobile app. And if you're a brand new member, it actually goes into effect like that same day. So,
Oh,
one of my friends who he just enrolled just last night, after hours, but early this morning, he was able to pick up the phone, tap a button on the mobile app, and he's able to call into the law firm, and the law firm, is contracted to call him back within 4 business hours. So, a lot of people ask like, oh, can I just get the service when this happens? Well, our service is meant to be used proactively versus
uh-huh.
reactively. So if you can imagine, Marie, if you've ever contacted an attorney, if you know friends or family members who have, in most cases, it was a reaction to something that already happened, right? Like, so someone in
Yes.
a financial situation, they need a bankruptcy attorney. Someone's thinking about divorce, and now they want to talk to a divorce attorney. Someone got into an accident, so they speak to a personal injury attorney. The way that our services are set up with Legalshield is that before things happen, you can pick up the phone and call the law firm before you make those decisions. So it's meant to be a proactive service where we encourage people to use it as much as possible. Because I know that when I first got it, I had
Mm-hmm.
never used an attorney before. And, I was thinking like, why would I prepay for a service if I've never used an attorney or haven't used many attorneys before? But since I've been a subscriber and, I don't really think about the finances behind it as far as like how much an attorney will cost, because you and I both know they're expensive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just have to tap the button and I'm able to call into the law firm and they're able to help me. And I don't have to worry about how much it's going to cost because I'm already a subscriber. So
Okay. What if the situation gets worse? Will you get a representative lawyer that will take you to court and be there for you?
that's a good question. It depends on what the situation is. So
Okay.
embedded in our service, like we have a portion of our service that's called the trial defense portion. So if somebody has a personal service and if they ever get personally sued, there's
Mm-hmm.
actually a certain amount of hours that the law firm will actually defend them in court. So that's a scenario where an attorney can actually represent them in court. If there's a situation that has to do with like a speeding ticket or moving violation, if it is a defensible ticket or defensible situation, the attorney can go to court for you in a situation like that, like a traffic ticket.
Okay.
Now, if you're in a situation where you're trying to sue somebody, or you're in a situation where maybe you're going through an uncontested divorce, or a situation like where you do need to hire an attorney above and beyond what the services cover, we have a portion of our plan that's called the preferred member discount, and you actually get at least a 25% discount off of the law firm's hourly rate. So if you can imagine, if you got a $10,000 bill, I mean, that's $2,500 off of that bill. I mean, who wouldn't want to
Okay.
save that, right? So
Yeah.
just depends on the situation, but
Okay. But they have the options to where they get a representative to help them out if they need extended um, assistance from a lawyer.
yes, that's correct. And
Okay.
just to let you know, roughly about 80 to 85% of what people call in for
Yes.
is included in the service at no additional cost. So
Oh, okay.
majority of the times people call in, it's the service can do what it can, whether it's consultation, whether it's like writing a letter on someone's behalf. Earlier today, I was in a conversation, and there's somebody locally, and they're having an issue with their landlord because they won't fix a mold problem that's in their apartment. Now,
Okay.
she is currently enrolling for the service. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not an attorney, so I can't tell her what her rights are.
Yeah.
But she's going to pick up the phone, call the law firm. And in a previous situation that was similar to hers, the law firm was able to write a letter on her behalf at no additional cost. They just wrote the letter on her behalf to the landlord, and the landlord was able to rectify the situation. Because, I mean, if it's you versus the landlord, sometimes the landlord
Yes.
is kind of just strong arm you, right? But if it's you and your law firm versus the landlord, sometimes it's like it definitely it evens the playing field is essentially what it does.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing LegalZoom?
So Legal Shield has been, gosh, it'll be 15 years this coming
Oh,
June.
Legal
So
Shield. I'm sorry. I said LegalZoom, right?
yeah, no, it's okay.
Legal Shield.
It's funny because we get mixed up all the time. Like I'll ask people like, hey, have you heard of Legal Shield before? And they'll say things like, oh, is that LegalZoom? Well, the main difference between the two is LegalZoom started off as a legal forms company where it was an access to legal forms.
Okay.
Legal Shield has always been access to legal firms, like like actually
Oh.
see the attorneys. So that's the main difference between the two.
Now, do you guys use both, or is it just Legal Shield? It's totally different.
They're two totally different companies.
Okay.
There are things that we do that are different than theirs. Like for instance, like Legalshield gives you access to an attorney 24 hours a day in emergency
Okay.
situations. That's one of the biggest things. And then obviously we have our identity theft products that we offer to people as well. And the
Okay.
model behind the scenes, as far as how we pick and choose our attorneys, is a lot different. So
Okay. And did you say how many years you've been with Legal Shield?
yeah, it'll be 15. So it's
15
been a crazy
years?
time. Yep,
Oh
since
my gosh.
2012.
So, and what I understand is this business also that you can bring in people where they can also use it as an income stream. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, that's how I was, introduced to the company. One of my coworkers, I used to work in the mortgage industry. One of my coworkers, her boyfriend, was actually very active with the business, and she introduced me
Okay.
to him. And honestly, I really, really liked the service. And the first thing that I was attracted to was the service, as far as how you can help people. And they introduced the opportunity with me. I'd never seen anything like it before. I'd never been in, any type of marketing or sales or anything like that, or even
Mm-hmm.
team building. But I was introduced to that, through Legal Shield, and it's because of the service and how it helps people. That's really where the strength is.
Now, so you've been with them for 15 years. How is it turning out for you in terms of the income stream?
It's been great. I'll share with you this. When I first got started, I was looking to make an extra, like $200 or $300. Nothing big.
Uh-huh.
I think my first month, that's what I made. I made like $200 my first month.
Okay.
Nothing like nothing too large. I had my first $4,000 month within about 10 months. And
Okay.
honestly, between you and I, Marie, like that was more than I was making at my full-time job at the time.
Okay.
So imagine me. I'm like I was 24. Yeah, 24 at the time, and I was like, wow, I'm making more part-time. Sharing information about Legal Shield to people than I am full-time.
Okay.
So I decided to actually pay more attention to it, and I ended up, transitioning out of my full-time job. I still kept my DJ business.
Yes.
That's been 20 years. But here I am, almost 15 years later. It's our primary source of income. During the whole COVID thing, it's been, gosh, I keep losing track of time, but it's been between 2 to 3 months, right? Since, all of this stuff has been going on.
Yes.
And what I love about the company is they pay true residual income, where
Okay.
if you market a service to somebody and they continue to keep it, every single month, as long as they keep the membership, you earn a percentage of it. And, fortunately for us, over the past 15 years, we've built a sizable book of business where my wife and I, a few weeks ago, we sat on the couch and we were just looking at each other, just thinking like, wow, how blessed and how fortunate are we to have built this book of business with Legal Shield, to where we're not worrying. And I'm not saying everybody
Yes.
out there worrying,
Yes.
but we're not worrying as much as we probably would be if like we were out of work. Fortunately, my wife and I were able to continue building the business during this crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And during the crisis, people need a lot of people really need access to something. So
Okay.
yeah.
How large is your business now?
So as far as the business goes, I want to say that the book of business, there have been over 20,000 people that have enrolled for our services, and
Wow.
there's been thousands of people that have, joined us as a marketing rep. Some of them, it's interesting because we have two ends of the spectrum, and this is kind of interesting. So we have people who are like me, who are very, very devoted to Legal Shield and very, very gung ho, and like this is our main thing. And then we
Yeah.
have people who join us who, like, I hardly ever see them, but every now and then, like this happened like 2 weeks ago. I had a friend of mine, they sent me a message and they're like, hey, Mike, my brother, I think, needs Legal Shield. I don't know anything about it, but can you connect with him and then see if he can help? And so we have people who are just very, very spare time, very like no time even, like I
Yeah.
never even.
Yeah.
So there's the spectrum. And then we even have like insurance professionals, right? Like, so we have insurance brokers, like they're already marketing, a service to people. And if they're marketing life insurance, guess what? They're probably going to talk to them about last will and testament, living wills, healthcare directives. So sometimes it's actually a perfect fit, or it's like a perfect marriage.
Okay.
Even like car insurance, professionals, right? Like they sell an auto plan, but what if you could add a rider onto there that can give your client access 24 hours a day in case they get into an accident? They can call an attorney right away. Sometimes that is a good add-on too. So sometimes our service can be a really great add-on or like supplemental service, to what somebody's currently doing. Like you do real estate, right? Or you're around a lot of real estate professionals.
Yes.
what if they could have a service that can help them through the buying process, or even after they've purchased already, they have an issue, I don't know, with a plumbing company, they have an issue with an
Mm-hmm.
electrician, they have an issue with XYZ. This can be a value add to your clients. And so that's why a lot of people,
So how
they're
do
on.
you do that? So if, let's say I have a client who just purchased a home
Sure.
and I have Legal Shield, how does that work with the client that I have?
So typically, we'll have you're a trusted advisor for your clients. I'm a trusted advisor for my clients in different realms. And so what happens is we encourage them to say, hey, you've just made your biggest purchase. Obviously, you want to protect it, with estate planning, last will and testament, living will, living trust if needed. But at the same time, there might be situations that come up, and I want to make sure that you're protected legally, because obviously you're a homeowner now, and things might come up, and you want to make sure that you have a resource. What I like to tell people is, instead of Googling it, you might as well be able to speak to someone who knows what they're talking about, and that's essentially what a Legal Shield resource can be.
I see. Okay, I understand. All right. Well, I think that's actually a really good additional resource for people that you're serving, if
Sure.
that's the case, and it makes sense. But let me ask you, I know that you, with your DJ services, the fact that people can't really have big parties nowadays, but they could still have parties within their home. So do you do like an online service?
You know, it's interesting because I know there have been a lot of DJs who've kind of pivoted. And by the way, I want to kind of clarify this real quick too, because some people will ask, well, so you have your DJ business, you have the Legal Shield as well. Like, how do the two even go hand in hand? One of the things that I tell people is, in our DJ business, we focus on corporate events, like company events, weddings, and community events. And if
Okay.
I can DJ for a company event, or if I can DJ for some type of community event, in some cases, Marie, they'll allow me. Like, I've DJed for one of your events, right? Like, I'll put the
Yes.
Legal Shield table out. I'm known as the DJ, but I'm like the Legal Shield DJ guy. So sometimes they'll pay me for my services for the DJ services, but I'm allowed to actually promote Legal Shield, which is our primary. And so that's kind of how the two go hand in hand. And honestly, Marie, I always tell people would rather talk about music than they would legal services. Just honestly, like, people's faces light up. I'm like, oh, I'm a DJ, and they're, oh, really? And they start paying attention more. I don't know, it's the weirdest thing. But to go back to your answer, or to your question, I have had some counterparts and some friends who have continued to actually do some digital parties, right? So I've attended a couple events, like, we're actually a bunch of events on Zoom. We're on Zoom currently right now, and you can have, let's say, 20 of your closest friends celebrate a birthday party. Yesterday, my daughter, she attended a birthday party, and there were like 10 kids on a Zoom.
On a
Uh,
Zoom?
yeah, on a Zoom. They
Okay.
played games. Like, there was like a treasure hunt where they said, go find a fork. And the kids like ran out, went to go find a fork. And then they showed the fork on the video. But I've seen some people who are not kids who have parties, and they'll actually have a DJ. It's very, very simple. I would pull it up right now, but you can actually stream your music through your computer into a Zoom meeting like this. And, people are in, their own,
So
uh,
everybody can be on a Zoom and have a party with you?
yeah, you can totally do that. And you essentially just like mute, you typically like mute everybody out. The music is playing. You see people, dancing in the background. Actually, last week, I actually played music for a personal development seminar for Legal Shield. It was so much fun, Marie. So I
Oh,
actually started
wow.
playing 30 minutes before the actual event started. So imagine kind of like the Brady Bunch, like, you see like the nine, squares
Yeah.
or 12 or how many they are, and everybody's kind of like doing this. Like, that's what it looked like 20 people, and they're, rocking out, having fun. And there's one lady, I'll call her out right now. Her name is Kathy. She texted me earlier today, but she started right when I got on and danced for 30 minutes until the event started. So
Oh
yeah,
my
people
gosh.
can do it. I
I
mean, it's
can I
different.
can see it. I mean, so what does it take to do something like that with you?
You just need to invite me to a Zoom. Let's talk about it. Like, if somebody's having a party, on a Zoom, we can plug our music in, and, the music, we've figured out how to actually stream the music so it sounds a lot clearer than, other realms. Like, I could play music on my phone and have you listen to it right now, but it's not going to come out as clear as, plugging it straight into, this software.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, get in contact with me if somebody wants to
Wow,
dance and
I
have
can
fun.
see this as a big part of what I am doing. you
Yeah.
know, because I want a lot of fun. I mean, not just learning. I mean, I'm sure you could probably come up with some ideas of having make it really really fun, you know, incorporate some games and some ways to, you know, get people fired up, because, you know, as you know, I have the Fire Up Connect business networking
Fire
group,
up. Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, how do I incorporate this? We were looking at doing some online events for a certain group of people. I mean, they could be all seniors, right?
Sure.
So what would be the best way to make it energetic? I mean, that's gonna actually gonna be a cool idea. And now you're making me think. I'm like, I like this idea.
Yeah, you know, let me ask you something. I know we're just talking here. Have you used the breakout room features on Zoom yet?
Yes, yes, we did. I've
Oh,
attended a 2-day event, and it's a long day event, and they had about close to 70 people. And they
gotcha.
spread us out to breakout sessions, but there were only maybe 5 or 6 people in there
Sure.
that they assign, and it makes it very, very effective to communicate with them.
And that's the reason why I'm bringing it up. So like in a setting like where let's say you have like 50 people, right?
Uh-huh.
You can start an event like I was mentioning, like where maybe 15 minutes before, 20 minutes before, you just get them jazzed and say, hey, I know the event doesn't start till 7, but at 6:30 we're gonna jump on, we're gonna have music
Oh my
blaring,
gosh.
and then just people are just kind of hanging out. But here's the biggest thing, like and you know, like and you've probably been a part of events like where everybody has their videos on.
Yeah.
Some people, we got to teach them. We have to teach them how to be on the virtual space, right? Because you can imagine, after all of this stuff is said and done, you're going to have two different businesses you're building: your physical business, you're going to have your virtual business. And if we can teach people how to be in this virtual space like this and have fun in it, be engaged so I can see their face, you know, those 25, 30 minutes before the event starts, that can actually set up the energy for the rest of the event. And then during the event, you know, you might, you know, set up breakout rooms where people are able to communicate. But every time they come back to the larger room, the music's playing again. And guess what? I
Oh
see
my
each other,
God. You're
hands are
giving me
all
so
over the
many
place.
great things right now, because I have been talking about doing an online live seminar. The problem I have is that it's almost like everybody's doing it. And I don't want to just be like everybody else. I want it
Yeah.
to be more, you know, unique in so many ways. And you actually just gave me a sense of, okay, I can make this different, because I'm already thinking about a different format. I don't, I mean, everybody's doing Zoom. Okay.
Sure.
But at the same time, I want it to be, because I'm on the television format. I'm on the, you know, I kind of want to make it more, you know, above than what everybody else is doing. So now you're giving me that sense of, I think I can make this happen.
Yeah.
So I need to talk to you more about this. I know we're recorded. I feel like you know I want to keep this for myself. but I get it. I think there's a lot of ideas here that's, you know, coming through me right now, and we need to talk about it some more. But I'm very very excited for you. I'm so thankful that we had this call. I think you're going to help me a lot with what I'm doing and what I'm trying to accomplish. But Legal Shield, I think, is amazing for people to consider if they really need that, to where it's always available for them. And what you do is, I think it's going to be probably the future of the businesses, is incorporating that energy in their live events.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
now
lot of
I
fun.
gotta be the first one to do it.
Yeah, I have a training call that's going to be coming up, you know, pretty soon. Actually, after you know we're done recording this,
Okay.
and I purposely am going to get on there 15 minutes earlier so I can start the music already.
Oh
Because
my God. Can I get invited so I can at least see how it works?
yeah, I mean, if you want to, yeah, sure, I'll give you the link. I
Yeah,
mean,
let me know. I wanted to see it because I really need to picture the whole thing. I already have speakers that are waiting for me to do this. But you know, I'm trying to decide, how can I make this very, you know, it's better than what everybody else is doing. Because I see what they've done, and it's just getting a Zoom account and getting the breakout session. That's easy. Everybody can have it. So what's different? You see what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All
Got to
right,
see
sounds good.
part.
Well, how's the family? I know you have a wife and kids. How are they doing?
You know, the wife and kids are great. You know, my wife, she has a baking business that she works from home.
Yes.
You know, she makes cake pops, macarons, sugar cookies, and it's interesting
Oh
because
my
the first
gosh.
couple weeks, she decided, like, you know, like, oh, this is great. I've been wanting a break for a while. And then Easter came along, and she put out a, you know, an Easter special. And this is one of the ways that she was able to kind of shift and pivot her business.
Okay.
She typically, like, every now and then she'll do like decorating, like cookie decorating classes, her and one of her partners, right? Well, since they weren't gonna be able to, they weren't able to do a cookie decorating class, they said, well, what if we created some cookie decorating boxes where it was do it yourself, and you could, you know, obviously make the cookies and
Oh,
kids could do something. And we realized that all parents right now, they're looking for something for their kids to do, you know, and
yeah.
if they make their own cookies. And so they did this actually for, so they did it for Easter. They did, you know, a couple of other ones. They just launched another one that has like mermaids and space people on it, or space, you know, related items. And they keep getting good feedback on, like, wow, you know, this kept my kid busy for like hours or an hour, you know, just like decorating these cookies. So she's been doing that. And so I feel like, you know, her business really, since she turned that on, really hasn't skipped a beat, which is pretty cool. As far as
Yes.
the girls go, so two daughters, we have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. The 7-year-old, obviously, she was the one in school. The 5-year-old, you know, she wasn't enrolled in the school. So she had to take, or the 7-year-old had to take, you know, some online video Zooms. And it's so funny because they only met twice a week for a
Okay.
30-minute spot, right? And it
Okay.
was so interesting to see their attention span of the other kids and of her. And I was thinking in the very beginning, I was like, why is it only two? You know, actually, it was only once a week. I was like, why is it only once a week? Then we went to two times a week, and I was like, why is it only twice a week? And I started to realize, like, there's really only so much that they can handle at that age. You
Yeah.
know, it's a
Well,
different.
getting back to your wife, I mean, if she is shipping, decorating boxes, you know, is she also doing an online teaching?
She hasn't really been doing too much online teaching at all. You know,
Okay.
she has thought about that, but she hasn't done that yet. She is only doing pickup orders right now, so she actually
Okay.
isn't delivering. She's not really shipping either currently right now.
Okay.
But the even the transition to the pickup orders is kind of interesting, you know, because we, you know, set up a, you know, a pretty table in the front of our yard. You know,
Uh,
sometimes, you know, depending on if it's really hot or if it's raining, we'll put a canopy out. And it's really funny, like watching in the window, like looking at the people, like as they're coming up to pick up their orders. it's actually
uh,
it's
so
actually a
they
really,
have to pick it up. Okay.
that's like an interesting interaction. But you know, it is what it is for right now, you know.
Okay, I see. Because I can see that, you know, she could be shipping a lot of boxes to families. And then she can schedule a time to where they can all watch her do the decorating.
Yeah,
And they're all like, you know, learning from her at the same time. So it's just a matter
sure.
of, I think that'd be cool.
That could
Wow.
be
I mean,
cool.
I'm
Thanks
even
for that.
thinking if she's doing this decorating, it'd be, I can see it's a lot of gifts that you can put together for people that are on meetings, and then, you know, give it as a gift.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
actually
there's a lot of ways, I'm sure, that, that this is
that's
going to be
actually a
beneficial.
really, really interesting idea. I'm actually going to run that. I'm going to run that by her today because I think that that could be really, really cool. Like if you just created the boxes, put all the
Yeah.
stuff that's already in them, and then have like a virtual like cookie decorating
Yes.
class, like at a certain time, and have all the people who have the boxes with them take out their boxes because they have them right there. You know, that could
Yes.
really be
I think
cool.
that would be a good idea because you know, it's hard sometimes, especially, I mean, I'm not a cook, or, you know, I'm not into baking, but if I wanted to work with people and I get this box, I mean, I still need some guidance. So I think it will be perfect for her to to show us, okay, how do we do this?
Right.
It's like those painting classes. You know, I attended a painting class,
Yeah.
and I have an idea I wanted to paint, but I have no guidance. So following
Sure.
somebody, it's a lot easier to do that. Actually, even for the painting class, they should be doing the same thing.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because in the very beginning, I told her, like, you're probably going to need to record like a video at least so they can see you
Yeah.
decorate it.
That's
I
another
didn't-
thing. They can buy the CD. They can buy that, or they
yeah,
can have it on online where they sign up to attend a lesson. You know, I think that'd be perfect as a package.
yeah, that would be
That'd be
awesome.
awesome. See how it works?
There
Anyway,
you go.
okay. Well, thank you so much. We're almost time. And is there anything else that you wanted to share to people before we sign off?
No, actually, can I give them my contact information just in
Yes,
case?
yes, of course. Go ahead. I was going to
Yeah.
ask you
So
that anyway.
okay, perfect. Well, I mean, it's really simple to get in contact with me. You know, my name is Michael Cabradilla. I'll spell the last name for you. It's Cabradilla. My email is michaelcabradilla@yahoo.com. I'm on, Facebook. I'm on social media under that same name. And my cell phone number, let me give that to you real quickly. It's 619-917-1315. 619-917-1315. I'm accessible anytime. So if anybody has any questions, definitely let me know. And on the Legal Shield front, I understand that legal situations are sometimes they're either embarrassing or sometimes they can be very, very private. So those conversations obviously will be held, private. And, just want to share that with you in case you have any reservation in regards to reaching out. So thank you so much, Marie.
Okay, thank you. That was awesome. And for everybody, make sure you connect with Michael because he's a great resource. Actually, he's also connected to a lot of people that for whatever you need, it might be good for you to connect to him no matter what because he'll give you a lot of information on his businesses and probably even other people's businesses because that's what I know about you too, Michael. So anyway, thank you so much. Make sure you don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube account and share this video. And if you have any questions, just let me know. You can also send me a message. And hopefully you guys have an amazing week, okay? Bye now. Bye, Michael. And thank you so much.
Thank you.